Evolution of King Bowser from 1986 to 2026. Your like and subscribe means a lot to me. 1986, Super Mario Bros. The Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach. Bowser's screen history begins with this Japan-only animated feature, where he steps into the spotlight as a full-story villain rather than a final obstacle. His personality is driven by pride first, ambition second, and patience almost never. The story doesn't try to make him complicated, it makes him iconic. He's loud, confident, and consistently larger than life, which fits the film's playful, colorful tone. What matters most about this movie era is that Bowser already feels performative. He doesn't just want to win, he wants to look like the winner, even when he's doing something villainous. The portrayal is staged like a show. He wants attention, control, and recognition. That combination of menace and comedy becomes a foundation Bowser will keep rebuilding for decades. 1989, Amada anime series Super Mario Bros. With the Amada anime stories, Bowser shifts into a more compact fairy tale villain role because these are short-form adaptations. His presence is written to be instantly readable to the audience, so they know within seconds that he's the threat, the ruler, and the problem. Instead of being portrayed as unstoppable, he's portrayed as certain he deserves victory, certain he's smarter than everyone else, certain that the hero surviving this long must be a mistake. That's a key Bowser trait that fits television perfectly. If he loses, he doesn't reflect, he doubles down. These anime appearances help sharpen that rhythm. Bowser's ego rises, his plan escalates, the heroes resist, and his temper becomes part of the entertainment. 1989, the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. This is the era where Bowser becomes a true TV personality. Instead of existing for one story, he becomes a recurring weekly presence, meaning his character has to be fun to watch even when he fails. And this series fully commits to that. Bowser is dramatic, sarcastic, loud, and constantly convinced that this time he's finally figured out the perfect plan. The show's tone makes Bowser feel like a villain you love to hate. He's not just threatening, he's entertaining. His energy is huge, his confidence is ridiculous, and his reactions are big enough to carry a whole episode. Importantly, this series reinforces Bowser's brand on TV. He isn't just strong, he's a king who acts like the stage belongs to him. Even his failures feel like performances, like he's already planning the next monologue the moment he loses. 1990, The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3. Here, Bowser's royal identity becomes louder and clearer. He's portrayed with more emperor energy, less like a random villain causing chaos, more like a ruler who expects obedience from an entire army. His ego is massive, and the show uses that to give him consistent character comedy. He acts like the universe owes him victory. This is also a Bowser era that emphasizes command. He's not just appearing to be defeated, he's issuing orders, planning takeovers, and operating as the head of a kingdom that believes in him, even when he's wrong. It makes him feel bigger. Even if the show is comedic, Bowser starts feeling like a villain with infrastructure. He's not just a monster, he's a monarch. 1991, Super Mario World, Mario and Yoshi's Adventureland. This interactive anime-style experience places Bowser into a living obstacle role. Instead of focusing on character depth, it focuses on Bowser as a force that shapes the viewer's journey. When storytelling becomes interactive, the villain's job is to feel present, like the reason the audience must keep pushing forward. So, Bowser functions more like a narrative engine. He's the threat that keeps the experience moving. It's a different form of screen presence, less dialogue-driven, more the villain is the wall you keep hitting. And that fits Bowser's identity perfectly. Even when he's not deeply explored, he still works as the central problem. 1999, Futurama. Bowser appeared briefly as a visual pop culture reference, used for instant recognition and comedic impact. His inclusion reflected his status as a universally recognized villain archetype. 2005, Robot Chicken. In stop-motion parody sketches, Bowser's traits were exaggerated for absurd humor. His overconfidence, villain habits, and iconic design were intentionally mocked, reinforcing his legendary status in pop culture. 2007, South Park. Bowser appeared symbolically as a video game villain reference, used for satire rather than narrative depth. Even in parody, his identity required no explanation. 2008, Seth MacFarlane's Cavalcade of cartoon comedy. Bowser functioned as a rapid visual gag, relying entirely on recognizability. His appearance confirmed how deeply embedded he had become in mainstream media. 2009, Chowder. A Bowser-inspired parody leaned into exaggerated villain tropes, referencing classic Mario-era antagonists in a playful, non-canonical style. 2012, Mad. Mad presented Bowser as an exaggerated caricature, blending satire with pop culture humor. His inclusion reflected decades of recognition across multiple generations. 2012, Wreck-It Ralph. Bowser's appearance in Wreck-It Ralph marked a major cultural milestone. Appearing as himself among iconic villains, he was treated with respect and familiarity. Calm, confident, and experienced, this version framed Bowser as a veteran antagonist who had already shaped villain history. The bad Anon scene humanized him without diminishing his authority, elevating Bowser from franchise villain to pop culture legend recognized across universes. 2023, the Super Mario Bros. Movie. This is Bowser's most definitive animated movie portrayal because it combines everything audiences have associated with him across decades and presents it with blockbuster-level confidence. He's powerful and intimidating, but also theatrical, comedic, and emotionally driven. The film makes Bowser feel like the engine of the story. When he enters a scene, the atmosphere changes. This portrayal also leans into Bowser's personality in a way that modern audiences love. He's dramatic, obsessed, and weirdly expressive. He isn't just evil, he's character. His confidence feels enormous. His ambition feels unstoppable. And his presence feels cinematic. At the same time, the film allows him to be funny without making him weak. His comedy comes from how seriously he takes himself, not from the movie reducing this threat. By the end, this Bowser feels like the complete Bowser. Kingly, stubborn, entertaining, and genuinely dangerous. Crafted to work for fans and newcomers at the same time. 2026, the Super Mario Galaxy movie. With the next Mario film set for April 3rd, 2026, Bowser's screen evolution moves into a bigger, more cosmic stage. The Galaxy theme naturally pushes scale, wider worlds, higher stakes, and more spectacle. That kind of setting fits Bowser's long-standing ambition perfectly, because Bowser has always acted like kingdoms weren't enough. He's always wanted the biggest win possible. And that's the key evolution point here. Bowser's screen presence has steadily grown from local threat to cultural icon, and a Galaxy-scale movie is the logical next step. Even before audiences see the full story, the promise is clear. Bowser is no longer just a villain in a small adventure. He's positioned as a cinematic force built for massive visuals, big emotion, and epic confrontation.